undefeated for how many years now?
Since 2009, their first victory in the pair. So that's how long it's been. What's that? That's around about 6 years, isn't it?
It's the 6th year now. Yeah. Incredible. Here we go now, though, up at the start for the A final, the men's pair. In lane 1, we have Belarus 1, Dmitry Furman and Yanis Serovets. So they have been moving from the Belarusian 8 into this men's pair. In lane 2, we have Adrian Juhas and Bela Simon Jr. of Hungary, an established pair. They've been racing together in this boat since 2009 as well. Over in lane 3, Chile, Felipe Leal Atero and Oscar Vasquez Okoya. Over in lane 4, Germain Chardin, Dorian Mortelet of France. So they placed 5th in the men's 8, the French men's 8, at the World Championships last year. Hot competition for them from lane 5, John Carazo Tobar and Ismael Montes Caamano. They're a new pair, first event racing together. And then over in lane 6, the Belarusian 2 boat, Dmitry Viberanets and Sergei Veladsko. So they're a pretty young crew here, just stepping up from the under-23 category. First event for them in the men's pair together.
Hungary, Chile.
Just hear the starters call over there.
Spain, Belarus 2. Attention.
And we're underway with the men's pair final here at the World Rowing Cup 2015 in Bled. Good clean start across the board.
Yeah, and it's fantastic for the people at the start here in Bled because you're so close to the town. And we're looking at the Chilean pair there of Oscar Vasquez Ochoa. He's closest to us in the stroke seat, and behind him Felipe Leal Atero. Both in the pair last year, 5th in the small final, which means they came 11th. But these guys, well, of course, Olympic champion, the very familiar face of Dorian Mortelet, and behind him Germain Chardin. And well, they went off the start, I thought, really well at 50. You remember we saw them in the heat. They looked really good. But it's the strong Belarusians, isn't it, out in the lead on this near side. Very strong pair. I don't really expect that they will be up and figuring too much in the last part of the race, but they are very strong men, both these Belarusians. On the 23s last year in the 4 came 8th, and you see they're dropping off already, so a bit of a muscly, and I think you could see there from the bowman Dmitry Viberanets a little bit too aggressive on the front, just wants to let his blade slip in a bit more easy and get more grip on the boat.
Well, there's only 2 seconds across the field from the 2 semi-finals, so it's going to be a tightly packed field throughout this race is my anticipation. As we come up to the 500 though, already out in front, we've got the French boat of Germain Chardin and Dorian Mortelet starting to put their position out in front and make their presence felt. They're just up on Belarus at the moment.
It's a very impressive way to look at the French pair. I mean, they said they didn't want to row in the 8 anymore. The French 8 is still the project for the Olympics, and they've come out back to their coach, Sebastien Bell. And I tell you what, the Kiwi pair, Murray and Bond, are going to be looking at this with great interest, not least because I think this pair has the genuine pace to be close and around and challenge them. Admittedly, okay, 5 seconds gap at the London 2012 Games, which was the last occasion that I think they raced together, but I think the French pair's going very well. They can rate high, yet their blades are very smooth the way they enter the water at the front end. They really don't miss anything, so they get locked on the big muscles early on, and their race profile, Peter, is very similar to the Kiwis. Not quick off, but then they accelerate, and they're just moving out on the field the whole time.
Yeah, they're absolutely taking this field by storm. Look at that clear water that they've pulled out over the rest of the pack. Certainly a different story to their semi-final, where they led by 3 seconds for most of it, but this is just another level now that they're into the final. I'd anticipate Chile making a bit of a burn as they come into the third 500 metres. They put in a pretty quick third 500 and final 500 in their semi-final, so I don't think we've seen the last of them just yet. But coming up to the halfway marker now, leading by a significant margin, this French pair, really rather remarkable, Chardin and Mortelet. Look at that gap, nearly 2 lengths clear water over the second place Hungarian boat who finished second in their semi-final to this French boat as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop.
It does put you in mind of the World Championships here back in 2011, where you saw Murray and Bond completely out on the field. The nearest challengers to them that day were the British pair of Andrew Triggs-Hodge and Pete Reed, who had a storming third quarter, but the New Zealanders still took it. And well, in second place there, we've got the Hungarian pair, no strangers to this boat, won the C final at the World Championships, which means they finished 13th. But really, if Chardin and Mortelet, you see the shot from the castle there, the French pair leading, if they want to have a crack at the Kiwis this year, they've probably got to put between 6 or 7, maybe 7 or 8 seconds on the field at this event, Peter.
Well, they certainly look set to do that. Well into the third 500 now, and they're taking this race by storm. But I don't want to discount yet the Belarusian two-boat of Vybaranets and Velazko, who are certainly not out of this race yet, looking at the times. But current battle for second and third place looks to be between Belarus 1 and Hungary. That Belarusian boat is moving up the field pretty quickly. Hungary were in second place, and Belarusian 1 are now starting to take that lead away from them. So that could be the silver medal to Belarus here, one of the outside lanes, which I wouldn't have expected.
No, certainly not. I think for me it's all about the distance, how much the French can put on that the Belarusians. I'm probably looking for a 10-second margin at the finish. I think that would really give them some credibility at the top of the international pairs field. There's the Belarusian 2, Dmitry Furman on the left of your screen with the cap back, and his stroke man Tsanis Sravets in front of him on the left of your screen. We're looking at the top, the Belarusians, but the camera's panning a long way, as it should, because the French are moving beautifully. Their own decision not to be in the French 8. It's quite controversy in France. Who's in that top 8? They've had 3 men drop out now. Of course, Julien Bahane went to row for Canada rather than row in the French 8, and these 2 men in the pair have opted out. Not quite pulled out as much as I would have thought on the Belarusians, who are just edging out on the Hungarians, who will probably take the bronze medal, Peter.
Well, it's incredible. That Belarusian boat put in a storming third 500 metres, and they have really moved through the field. They were down in third and fourth place, certainly out of the medals from the Hungarians, and they've rowed through that Hungarian boat in a matter of 300 metres, and they're starting to close down that clear water gap on the French. So we're coming into the last 200 metres now, the red boys going past your picture, and this is a great scene to see. The French pair well out in front, but that Belarusian boat still closing down that gap. Last 5 or 6 strokes to go before they cross the line, and here come Hungary. They've upped their rating, thrown it absolutely through the roof, and they are going to take the silver medal away from Belarus. I absolutely didn't see that coming. They took half a length in the space of 50 metres. To have that strength at the closing stages of a 2K race at this international standard.
Yeah, I think it's kind of more on the fluidity. I mean, the Belarusians are a little bit one-paced. French there, 6:37 in the conditions. Yeah, obviously, well, it's about 30 seconds outside the world record, of course, set by the New Zealanders. The Hungarian silver medalist, 3.29 seconds behind. Personally, I would have thought that the French would have been looking for a bigger gap to the Hungarians, who, after all, were the 13th place pair at the World Championships last year. I'm not sure they'll be in the finals of the World Championship this year, but you never know if they have improved. And I think we see there France winning 4 seconds ahead of Hungary, and then Belarus 1 back. Chile, encouraging result for them, but just out of the medals in